Now, this one's probably frustrating, but how would you describe this game and the effort in total?
Yeah, frustrating. You said it. We were in the driver's seat for obviously the first 2 periods, and unfortunate what happened on the 4 and 4. And he capitalized on 2 chances, and that's how quick the game can get away from you, and playing catch up from there.
What makes it so difficult to defend against 4 on 4?
Well, obviously 4 and 4, it's man-on-man coverage, so picks, you got to fight through them, stuff like that. It's man-on-man, so winning races is a big part.
How's the morale in the room this time of year?
I mean, it's frustrating. We felt we worked hard. There was a minute of the hockey game that they capitalized on two chances. But like I said, we were in control of the game. We were playing hungry hockey, determined hockey, and it's just a crappy feeling when it doesn't pay off.
How deflating was that goal when he got pushed into Reggie?
The first one you're talking
about? Yeah, the first one.
It was a weird one for sure. But at that point of the hockey game, you got to be able to bounce back, and it went in. It was called the goal. It is what it is. You got to move on and get ready for the next shift.
Your line produces again. Just how do you feel like you guys have progressed since being together?
Yeah, we're working hard. We're trying to do all the little things right, and we're getting chances. Obviously, it was nice to get some tonight.
No goals yet on the 6-on-5 this year. Do you feel like you're due? Is that something you guys take into consideration when you pull the goalie?
Yeah, obviously the goal is to score 6-on-5. Haven't, like you said, I didn't know that, but yeah, we haven't got one yet, I guess. So we talked about it. We talked about our plan. Obviously, you meet on the bench and go over what you want to do, and they tried to clear the puck and it went all the way down. So tough balance for sure.
Dylan Guenther playing with broken nose and bubble tonight. Just what does that say about the will to play at this point in the season for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuses at this time of the year. It's the most important hockey. Maybe try and get as many wins as you can.
You guys have been pushing. Does the mindset change at all after this?
No, just reset, get back at it.
Thanks, Lawson.
Thank you. Lawson just said you got obviously hungry hockey in this game. What was, I guess, the way this started versus the third period? Where did you see the biggest difference?
I honestly thought we played pretty well. Maybe get inside a little bit more and try to create more secondary chances. I think we know that they were pretty good in the neutral zone and have more speed, but just need to find a way to score more goals.
How did it feel for you playing tonight, just breathing with the bubble and everything?
It felt fine, yeah. It felt pretty normal.
Is there anything you do pre-game around the nose to kind of get you ready for the game?
No, just a little bit of ice and try to just reduce the swelling as much as possible.
Did you try playing with more physicality to, play with less fear with the broken nose?
I don't think so, but it's definitely a plus. Where the puck hits you in the face, it's not going to hurt.
This team talks about not quitting all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Still, it's unlikely, but not eliminated yet. How do you treat these final 6 games?
Yeah, I don't think you change it. If we're in last or first place, I think you're always playing for something, and these next 7 games can give us momentum in the next season, so they're all big.
Does playing with the bubble change much in terms of what you can see?
I don't think so. It's a little bit swollen, but it felt pretty normal.
When a goal comes off the board like that, what do you do to make sure that it doesn't get you down?
Yeah, it sucks, to be honest. It's happened a few times, and especially early. Sometimes when you get one early, it feels like the floodgates kind of open, but try to keep doing the same things. A couple inches off from a goal, so that means you're doing something right.
You guys haven't scored on a 6-on-5 yet this season. Is that something you take into consideration? You feel like you're due for one when you pull the goalie?
Yeah, I think that. We got to work on it. I think it's just urgency, getting pucks to the net. It's not going to be a pretty goal probably, so just more pucks and bodies at the net.
You held them to just 9 shots through 2 periods of play. What was working for you guys to limit them completely?
I felt like we were urgent. We were pretty dialed in on the game plan, and we played well the first 2.
With these types of growing pains, what are you guys learning at this point in the season?
Just I think how every play matters. Every shift. no matter what happens, all we can do is go out there and try to win your shift. So just take it a step at a time.
Thanks, Del.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, I think we played a really solid game. I think there's a few broken play who made the difference in the game, but I think the guys were ready and we were really structured. We didn't give up much. Unfortunately, a few breakdowns made the difference.
What was your perspective on the 4-on-4 sequence?
The old 4-on-4. Well, I think the first one it's an unfortunate turnover. And I think Johnny doesn't do a lot of those. Just did happen at the wrong time. I think it was a unnecessary risk, but that's happened. The other one, there's a few things on that. I think we didn't move our feet to get up ice. So then our motion were in the wrong direction. There's a contact. There's a loose puck. Veggie should have get that puck. I think that said Veggie was solid again tonight. So it's far from my intention to blame him. I'm just saying on that particular play, he could have played a puck. The puck was 10 feet from him. But that's what happened.
Were you bothered in any way by the Senlin penalty?
Yeah. I don't know. I will need to think about it and maybe rewatch it before I made a comment on that.
I'm wondering about your assessment of the new first unit of the power play as well as the recent success of the second unit.
Yeah, I think the wood unit when called upon, the second unit did not play a lot. They obviously scored at the end on the last power play, but I think the first unit played well as well. They had good shot, they had good momentum, they had good opportunity, they recovered loose puck, win draws, were good on the breakout. They did a lot of good stuff.
Dylan Guenther playing with broken nose, stitches, cage. Just what does it take for a player to fight through something like that at this point in the season?
I think that's because you see that. Because there's not many guys in any locker room in the NHL at this point of the year who don't have something wrong. That's for sure. When you have a cage and a bubble and you have a broken nose, everybody sees it. But there's a lot of it's a tough sport, and there's tough player, and they go through a lot, and they demand a lot to their bodies. It's 82 games, and it's the way it is. And I think I have a ton of respect for all of them who battled through and manage their life 24/7 to make sure they're capable of keep playing at an elite level. So Gunnar and others, ton of respect.
Hey, Bear. Yet to score on a 6-on-5 this year. How would you explain to the fans why you continue to make that decision? Probably some new fans might be curious. And
to try to win.
To try to win, yeah.
Try to win. There's losing 3-1 or 4-1 was the difference. We lose. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you need to try to win. That's the competitive nature.
Do you feel like you're due for one?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we're waiting for the right timing.